Welcome to this episode of Beer and Booze with B-Rad. I'm B-Rad, and of course, let's start this show off right. Let's start the show off with, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink, and something near and dear to my heart. 22 veterans died due to PTSD, suicide. So if you happen to know a veteran or anyone else suffering from PTSD, anxiety, depression, reach out to that individual, say hi to them, listen to them, do something to acknowledge that person's existence. Could save their life, believe it or not. And during this time of quarantine, would be a really good time. Just reach out to someone. I mean, it doesn't have to be much to save that person's life, believe it or not. So let's be kind to each other. Let's stop acting like assholes to each other, hoarding and stuff like that. I'm bringing myself down. This is a beer review, and I've got hopefully, I have some Wichita, Kansas people out there, or just Kansas in general. I'm going to do 2 back-to-back episodes. I'll probably edit one tonight, one tomorrow. I kind of like doing it that way. That way, just in case I don't know, I don't feel like doing one or whatever, something comes up, I can still produce another video. I have got a brewery out of Lawrence, Kansas. I got 2 Lawrence, Kansas beers. But the first one is Fields and Ivy out of Lawrence, Kansas. Okay, let's critique this labeling here. Summer Pasture, American wheat. All right. I'm not really digging that logo. What saved grace was this old time short, barreled bottle. You know, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, back in the days when Wiederman had bottles like this. I think Coors Banquet beer has bottles like this. It's just kind of a little bit nostalgia, and I found that a little cool. And let's go. Since I've never reviewed this beer, let's get into. I don't know when they started. Okay, I don't know. They gave me a very detailed. If you get on their website, they give me a very detailed about the guy. I'm guessing he's about the same age I am. I'm 49, so he's somewhere in that age. Back when we were 21, we were able to drink. Beer was kind of limited. There was no craft breweries and stuff like that. And this guy got into wine, and I guess maybe he started growing. He grew up on the farms, so he's knowledgeable in agriculture, all this other stuff, and he got into wine. Well, later on, I guess he takes a trip out to California and discovers through a friend that, hey, there's craft beers out there. You can brew at home, and all the ingredients are pretty accessible and stuff. And he just thought there, and it is true. I mean, craft beers have a lot of flavor, and I mean, you can almost, whatever your palate wants, desires, I mean, it pretty much, you can find a beer for it. I love IPAs, lagers, pilsners, find the right ones. It's so unimaginable, all the varieties of beers you can get nowadays. But when I was 21, it was pretty much, Budweiser, Coors, Miller, Stroh's, Hams, Lowe's, stuff like that, man. It wasn't, and those are all established breweries, and I'm not making fun of them at all. So, okay, I didn't finish the rest. I guess he discovered, I guess when the Depression hit here a few years back, he went back to farming and stuff, and thought, what a great place. We're the wheat capital of the United States, I believe, and with its ingredients and beer, wheat and barley, and so he decided to take Kansas and farm the wheat, farm the barley, make Kansas, put Kansas on the map. I mean, we have a lot of good talent here in Kansas. We have a lot of great breweries, a lot of breweries that are very popular, like my next beer. And I wouldn't call them a competitor because I think sometimes in the craft beer industry, it's not really you're not really a competitor. You guys are friends, kind of. You guys are both, but this guy just loves the art of crafting beers and stuff, and I think that goes with it. You got someone who has an agriculture background, thinks that art and beer, and I've been saying that, haven't I? I've been saying that. Crafting beer is very artistic, and I think when you use local ingredients and everything, and I believe their brewery is steam powered. Okay, so we got another brewery that's using, I don't know if steam's better or not. I don't know. But I think so, I guess. I mean, better than using electricity, I would think. All right, let's get on with the tasting of this. This is it says American wheat, but, yeah, American wheat. Let's give this American wheat. I think they get the beer from a neighboring farm that they have. Oh wow, look at that. Can you see me giving you the burn? Very clear for American wheat. Oh man, you get a maltiness like no tomorrow, grainy, there's quite a bit of smell, and how clear that is. Just amazing. The head didn't dissipate too bad, but it did go down a little bit, so maybe their carbonation's off a little bit. I'm going to give the head 3.0, but that's a fantastic color. I'm going to give the color 4.0, and let's give her a sip. Wow. It's just really, really clean, goes down smooth. It even feels kind of like a light beer, it's got a little bit of that, I don't know, that malty, grainy aftertaste, like you're getting a Budweiser and stuff. But it just, I don't know, it's got that clean, really just wonderful taste in your mouth, okay? I like it, man. These guys, this is a surprise, man. I didn't know if I like it or not, but it sounds like they've got this down to an art, using Kansas ingredients to brew this beer, which I love hearing that. And I love hearing the story about how it came about. And that's what I love about doing these beer reviews, is I love giving some of the history and the background behind these breweries that craft these beers. That's what my review is about. It's not about trying to be funny all the time. All right. You find yourself in Lawrence, Kansas, you're in a pub, or maybe you're at a KU game. Well, right now you're probably not because there's no sports. But you're in Lawrence, Kansas, home of the Jayhawks, Rock Chalk Jayhawks, and you are confronted by a Marine with an eye patch. Now, being that he's in a college town, he might have a pirate jacket on with a parrot named Polly. And he's looking for a free beer. Okay, so this is something I created. I created the chuggability test. Oh, the taste. I'm going to get a taste of 4.0, man. It was really freaking good, I thought. And this would be a great go-to beer, especially with it warming up outside. Go ahead and replace that Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, that Michelob Ultra. Go ahead and slide this in. Summer Pasture. Kind of got a Kansas theme to it too. But Casey's looking for that free beer. You don't want to buy him a free beer. He wants you to buy a free beer. But that doesn't mean you both can't be friends and start doing some shots. Okay, the chuggability was created kind of like a cheat sheet. I chug it. You see if maybe you have an unfair advantage. Hopefully I'm giving you an unfair advantage to beating Casey. So, well, went down really smooth. Just a really, really great flavor. I mean, I can't tell you how good that is. I'll probably go out and get a 6-pack of that. The problem is with craft beers, they're a little on the expensive side. You're looking at, for 6 packs of craft beers, you're probably looking at spending $9, which right now, when you're not working, is no bueno. And all right, this is part of the show. I'd like to pay tribute to the men and women who sacrificed all for this great country. I love America. I hope you love America too. And since we're in quarantine status, I'd like to pay tribute to everybody still out there, the convenience store clerks, the grocery store clerks, the nurses, the doctors, the EMTs, the firefighters, and the police officers out there, pretty much on the front lines. People who work at Lowe's, it's open still. People who work those drive-thrus, okay, they're the ones that could possibly catch this virus just because they're trying to pay their bills. I wish I could pay my bills, but the company put me on a furlough, so hopefully I go back to work. But this is to them, this is to everybody, and of course, always a little Glenfiddich Scotch, chesty pull, or wherever you are. And that goes pretty nicely with that wheat ale, or American wheat. All right, thank you very much. Stony Vineyards, they're first up because you always comment and you always show some love. Brad Lance, Scott Losky, Lupe Gomez, brother. My email address is my first name, last name at gmail.com. So I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put it on the screen so you have it, so you can send me, I know you're wanting to send me a beer request, and I'll leave it up for anyone else that wants to send me an email saying, hey, could you try this beer? If I can get a hold of it, I will try it. I will review it. I'll throw your name in there for being one of the people that suggests this beer. So thank you to everyone. Thank you, Mrs. B-Rad. Thank you to my granddaughters, 10 and Isabel, my daughters, Amber and Alana. I love you guys very much, and this is a very special day for me. My dad died 19 years ago on this day, so this episode is for my father. Till Valhalla, Dad. Semper Fidelis, motherfucker.